In סימן Pei, yesterday we were learning about Kisharim. I don't know, we finished this seif or not?
Yeah.
We spoke about all the different kind of Kisharim.
Mem Vav we didn't learn.
We're up to Mem Vav. Still, first in Mem Hey yesterday, he mentioned the different type of ksharim that are, and which one you're allowed and which one you're not allowed. Now he's saying, kesha she'asurin l'saisa, a kesha that you're not allowed to make it on Shabbos. So kesha kazeh, asurin gam ken latirei. So just like it's forbidden to make it, it's also forbidden to untie it. ובמקום צער יש להטה.
Al Yidei Goy.
על ידי נחום.
What means a Makom Tsar?
If let's say you tied something and it's around your neck, let's say.
It's around your neck, but that you probably could do it yourself.
The Rebbe said, that okay, not talking about it. Tsar doesn't mean dafka pikuach nefesh. Moshe, let's say, sometimes someone tied his shoes, okay, and then it was a kesha agabi kesha, and he can't take it off. It's a mokum tsar.
Tsar that he can't take the shoes off.
Yeah, so the Michael not dafka yedei nachi also. Also, Fanamol, someone made a kasha accidentally. He didn't want to make the kasha, he didn't put it together, so that's very different. That also Michael, because it wasn't made to be a kasha period. Now he says there's a derech hakayotim, the derech of tailors, that they sew garments. Shekaydin shesayfim es a beged karoi, mechabim es a chatichas betfiras mirovachos. That means that this is, if you ever, I don't know if you ever had a ready-made kapota.
Yeah, custom.
Amol used to be a yid by the name of Hans. That he used to make the kapotas. He used to make the Rebbe's kapota also. Yeah. He used to come to the Rebbe's room to take the measurements to see.
When he went by the dollars, the Rebbe went like this to show that he's wearing his kapota.
So what they do is they take the big pieces and they attach them. So it's not finished yet, because we have to try it on. They're going to have to change everything. So they make threads,
big stitches,
big stitches to it, and then later they pull out the thread and it comes apart. So now he's talking a little bit different. He says, "Derech hachayotim," the derech of the tailors is shekoydim shetoifim beged karoi, before they fully sew it up, finish it up. Mechabim es achatiras batfiras mirovachos. So the parts of the beged, they make big stitches through it. V'achakach, and afterwards, in other words, when they have already the final measurements, is mesidin es achutim me'elu atfiras. So they pull out the string, the threads of these stitches. But also lahasidim b'Shabbos. So you're not allowed to because it's also just like you said before that the one that you can't make, so you can't untie. This you can make a Shabbos also. So maybe you can't untie. Now he's talking about another thing, which is a popular thing. Begodim asriyim lahachnas behem mesicha. This means that there's people that instead of a belt or instead of suspenders, there's like a loop, and you slip a string through it, and then you tie it in the front, and you could tie it tighter or looser. It's like adjustable. So he says so. Kegoyim nichmasayim, oy man olam. Mechsam is pants. So they have around the waist. There's this string that comes through it, and which you could tie together. Oy man olam is shoes. In other words, if you're wearing shoes with laces, so there's the place where you put through the laces in the shoe.
Is that put in a belt on Shabbat? Belt is also.
Huh?
It's also a belt. No.
He's not talking
Belt
about
and
a belt.
string is the same.
But he's not talking about a belt. He's talking about him. Ayman olam, chalaik. Chalaik is the shirt. Where it has around it like a string that comes under the collar, that you could tighten it or loosen it. Is imma beged chodesh. If it's a beged chodesh, also lachnise behem mishum dehavi tikkun mona. It's a part of making the garment. It's also over here calls it tikkun mona, but it's also some makabepatish. Im ein anekev tsar.
He says here,
Ubiyoshan, if it's not a new beged, so im ein nekev tsar, if it's not a very small opening, she'ein tayrech achnisai, is muta. The im yesh tayrech is also. L'pamim, there are times that Ezer tefida miskal keles, v'achatichas mispaldes ketzas zumizu. That means that this, let's say you sewed something up, and in the middle, a thread cracked. So b'meila, all the threads are becoming looser now.
Yeah.
So he says, "L'pamim sometimes ezet tefida moskal kelis, it gets spoiled. V'achatichas mispades sas zumizu, and everything begins to loosen up. So what do? Umoshchin bechut hatfidas, so you pull
The string.
the strings, the threads.
Right.
V'hein mischatkais umischabros. So they harden up, they tighten up,
Pulls together.
and they get together. Also can be Shabbos when the Havi Taifa. That's a form
Even
of,
though you're not putting it through and through, but the pulling and tightening it all is considered.
even though
your
you're not
sewing.
actually sewing.
But that's part of Taifa.
It's-
That's part of Taifa.
Yeah.
Now Yoresh Nivduku Shalei B'Kavon. You have the Moshel
The sitter.
pages that are attached. K'moi Shalufomim Nivduku Dapei Sforim Machmas Hatzeva Shetzavim HaKaidach. Says to say, the binder, when he binds the sefer, so he puts it together, and then he paints this here. You see many Sforim, these Sforim here don't have it, but many times they paint it.
Right.
That paint gets
Seeps
in a
into the
little bit
pages.
into the pages, and they begin to stick together. But it's not really paste. It's from Desert, he said, "Dap is some Sevish Sovereign Hakaidach, Oishen Nidvuku, Eze Dap and Bashaiva," because I'm older, used to learn by a candle. So maybe if they learn by a candle, there could be dripping, and the dripping could drip on the sefer, and it pastes together.
2 pages.
Is muta l'peischon, because it's not considered.
Glue.
It's not considered glued. If it was glued together, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. But this is not considered glued together. I just was looking over here in the Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, that we're talking about the Sfarim. So there's a shaila. There are certain shuls. Actually, if you go to the library, every book in the library
It has a stamp.
has a stamp over here.
Right.
And the shuls that didn't want people to take away Sfarim from the shul, so it's simple to put something in the beginning, like over here. But the shuls that they had over here, a stamp. So the question is, are you allowed to open the sefer? Is that called
Breaking the
Is
letters.
that called breaking the letters? Or you got to close the sefer? That's called open. So I'll read over here. The Rebbe is very interesting. Others are machma, for good reason. Okay, look over here. He says, "V'oisna svarim shekosov aleim oisius bereish chuda hadapim," which means
Top of the
this
page.
here. Yesh oisin v'peischem b'Shabbos mishum moichik, because you're breaking the letters. V'yesh v'chein l'na'alon mishum kaiser. V'av she'enim eskaven l'kach, even though this isn't his intention is
To open
to
up the
daven
book.
or whatever it is, to read something. If in that second he says psik reisha v'lo yomusu, that's one opinion. Then it says v'yesh matirin, there are those that are mata l'noyalam, to close them. V'fi shekivin she'oisius hen kesufas kvar elo she'mechusarim kriva ba'amor ein b'zeh mishum kaisav. Kivin she'efshel la'krivon b'kal v'li asiyah ma'isa chodesh. You don't have to do anything to put them together. Harei hein k'mekuravim v'aindim, so they consider as though
Always together.
they're together. V'eina oisa klum b'kriva, so he's not doing that. It's considered.
established already
It's
before.
considered connected. V'eina oisa klum b'kriva, v'chein mutar l'peischem mitam zeh, for the same reason, you're allowed to open it, and it's not considered a moichik. Ve'ena k'moichkom, bein sheksivosem kayemes, kivin sheksivosem kayemes, ve'efshe la'krivim b'kal, v'yesh v'hareyen k'mekuravim, there was no, and then it said v'chein noegim.
Right,
So
so
after that was
Like Brooklyn Public Library, you could open it up.
it's public library or a sefer.
Yeah.
There's no shadow. You could open it up. This is a big chiddush. I mean, Dr. Rebbe says there's
A lot of people used to put in a tissue before Shabbos so that they're not breaking it there because it's broken before. But they called Dr. Rebbe, you could do it with chil, it's not a problem.
There's also a shaila the
Page, what do you do?
No, but once it's not a word, because once the words are split,
Yeah,
it's
but
split out.
the next page is.
Yeah, but once, if the A is like this and you're missing,
It's not one word in the whole thing. One daf is one word in the whole thing. One daf is one word in the whole thing.
yeah, but if you have a stamp from here to here and and the word goes from here to here, you put it in the middle of your word. Once you split the word, according to those people, hey, that's the going down to them, we have no problem with it. Huh?
You saw that?
Sure.
Okay.
there's also some later. We'll talk later about it, but there's also with eating something that has
Words on it, yeah, sure.
has words on it.
I think there's machmir, no?
Yeah, that is machma.
Yeah.
But some want to make a chiluk if the oisies are written on it, or if they're
Engraved into it.
stamped, engraved in there. They want to make a chiluk. There was always a shaila. The people used to play. They had a game, Scrabble, I think it was called.
Yeah.
That used to
Make words.
Each one had like a bar, and you had to make words. So if you got a
Ksiva, is that
but
ksiva?
so they say that you're allowed because they're not really mechuba. You're just placing one next to the other.
Uh-huh.
But with Marshall Lego, they wanted to say you make it's
Boiner.
It's boiner because it's hard. it's tight. It's tight and it's very tight
Yeah.
to put together.
It's born out. So I said, oh no, so I said. I had it against my house.
Not talking about going, they're talking about writing.
Yeah.
Letters, not going.
Yeah, but by then the shot is, if Lego is probably going.
Nah, then they became, not going.
Not? I had it against my house.
This is very tight.
Yeah?
That's not going.
Well, yeah.
Ain't being with Caleb, it's good going.
I had a block in my house.
No, but what do you, all right?
What?
He says the Lego is not boining because it's not really so tight. You can easily take
So
it.
that's a in Shulchan Aruch straight. It depends if it's tight or not.
It's tight.
So that
But
you could think so.
Lego is not doing letters.
But
What is
the
letter
peop-
count?
peop-
Letters not to
If
Lego.
you have letters on Lego.
People make the thing. People make things. I mean, it's
No.
when it's made good. It's
Yeah.
Lego is one thing, and he was talking about Scrabble. Scrabble is another thing. Scrabble
I
is...
know Scrabble is, I'm saying, but Lego, if you have the same idea with letters on it,
Yeah, but there's no such thing. Lego does not mean.
it's either.
I saw somebody
if you have a mushal. There's a shayla also mushal. You could make a puzzle on Shabbos.
Right.
So over there, they want to say that it's not tight, because you give it a pick up, it'll fall apart right away.
Yeah.
But Lego's not going to fall apart. If you don't pull it out, it's not going to fall apart.
Lego, I'm talking about a puzzle that has letters.
Huh?
A puzzle that has letters.
That has letters, and you build, and you're writing things.
So the same thing, because it's not tight.
And a siddur is tight.
Huh?
A siddur is tight.
Just so yesh oisim.
No, but the city, the letters are there before. You're not making anything new. Here, the letters weren't there before. Here, because it was there before, and the opening and closing is not a big deal.
Scrabble, they're just laying next to each other.
Yeah, that's good.
Puzzle, they're holding each other.
Yeah, so that's
Not
what.
tight, but they're holding.
Yeah, so he says if it's held in very tight to each other, you can't do it. If it's falling apart, it's not. If it's not tight, it's just like the Scrabble.
No, not good.
Why?
Because they're holding each other.
Oh, because actually, even though they're not holding strong, you're saying.
Scrabble is just laying each other.
Wait a minute, but you're saying because it's holding, it has to be held tight.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
Ask him.
No, okay. All right, no.
Ask him.
So he was saying that if it's held
I
tight.
remember that's what they say. That
No, holding tight is about binding. That's about binding.
He's asking if you're making a puzzle with letters one next to each other because you're connecting one to
I know
another.
you, but it's not really mechuba.
So that's what the question is: how much of it is this?
There's some woods that they put it together like a Lego, and they could make a house. I saw some video that they're building this whole thing. They connect different like a Lego.
Yeah, so the question how strong it is. That's all.
But it's not so pusha. I didn't go through it now, but where do we find kaisev? Kaisev the din of two oisias.
Right. Has to be at least two.
Why
inches.
two oisias? Because on the kroshim there was
Numbers.
okay, and when you put together two kroshim, so then you have a kaisev two oisias. So over there, because it was tight, maybe because it was they had the brichim that held them tight for. I gotta look through it a little bit.
Looking at letters.
So, at least the guys are talking to the Chum, I don't guess. I saw one guy, I knew he was a good man. Let's say if it was cooking. Later, I told my wife, tell me that's why he didn't need it.
Over here he talks about. He said we're going to also lishba uga, sure also allow come in oisias.
Yeah, that's why now when they make a birthday cake, they put it on a piece of thing.
Yeah,
and take it off.
I'm
Because for years,
Chocolate.
chocolate. Because years ago, that's the way they did. You weren't able to cut the cake.
He said, "Aber mutter litna latinik, if it's latinik, oisra nasa ain't tzarich afrisha."
Or child, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But on his smach, you could give everybody else at the table.
No.
We can make a children's birthday party like that, but not an adult.
sit everybody judge.
Cut it fair and then take it away. Steal it away from the kid after the house.
Yeah.
You cut all the little pieces. You cut pieces for the little children, and you take it away from them. You don't like it, right? Okay, give it to me.
No, no.
Right. Used to be a cook in camp years ago. And she had to do something. She said, "It's not the kid. It's for the kid." Everything she had to do is for the kid. Stomach she learned this halacha. She knows for the kinder. For the kinder.
You're not allowed to do it, they can do it.
No, he doesn't say the children should do it themselves.
Yeah.
Or the child should do it themselves.
Yeah, no, but also we don't.
Okay, gotta look it over. Okay. Let's see another sif over here. He says, Kerem shekachu sabiv PM b'matras. V'koshu v'shicha. I mean, this means like opening up, let's say, a bag of food, let's say. Mutter l'kayrem b'Shabbos, shezeh mekalkol, mutter l'tzayr Shabbos. This is the heter from opening cans or bags or, but the problem that becomes is that's when is it considered put al smokalkol if you emptied it out. If you
Store it again afterwards. Yeah.
but if you didn't empty it out, so then you make a keli. So that's why some people when they open up a can on Shabbos,
Both sides.
they also make a hole on the bottom. So you can't use it even as a keli. It's a real makalko. Okay.